Donald Trump is threatening to back out of the Republican nominating process for the presidency, but don't get too excited. It would only be to then run as a third-party candidate. So here's some recent quotes from him. Despite the fact that just yesterday he said he would not run as a third-party candidate, this man who is honest and sticks to his guns in 24 hours has gone completely around, 180 there. And he might run as a third-party candidate if the RNC and other Republicans and fundraisers and those sorts of people aren't nicer to him in the future. Here are some quotes from Donald Trump. The RNC has not been supportive. They were always supportive when I was a contributor. I was their fair-haired boy. If you're Donald Trump, that's not the term you use for yourself, I would say. The RNC has been, I think, very, very foolish. So many people want me to, he's saying about the possibility of running as a third party, so many people want me to if I don't win. I'll have to see how I'm being treated by the Republicans. Absolutely, if they're not fair, that would be a factor. And he goes on to say how he would fare in terms of the actual process of running both against Republicans and then against a Democrat. I've got a lot of knowledge having to do with government. For the debates, I'll work on that. As far as the debate is concerned, these politicians debate every night. That's all they do is talk. I don't do that. I do other things. I'm a job creator.
Ha!
Liar.
Yes, he's a job creator and a race baiter. I'm Donald Trump.
So we were going to do yesterday the financial, his paperwork came out.
Right.
Which showed that he has, at the very least, been massively lying about how much money he has. Still rich, don't worry. He's still very rich.
He said he had like a little over $1 billion, right?
Yeah. And he says, no, it's still $10 billion. But whatever. Look, he's rich regardless. But I do know that he's right in one way. He's somewhat of a job creator. He is apparently, if you believe him, he is the CEO or president of 500 different organizations.
Companies, right?
Yeah, of different companies, yeah. So he has at least created those positions.
Yes.
They're bullshit positions. They don't mean anything. If you asked him to start naming those companies, he would tap out at 7 or 8, I think.
Most of them are shell corporations.
Shell corporations. He doesn't know where they are. He's never been there. He's never done any work for them. But he's a job creator. You can trust him. But anyway, what do you think about this, the possibility that he would run as a third-party candidate?
I think it's fantastic. Because I don't know about you, Johnny, but I admire Trump's bravery. He managed to escape capture by the Viet Cong, unlike John McCain, right? He managed to elude capture by the Viet Cong by staying in America and building shitty condos.
Exactly.
I really admire that kind of bravery.
The best defense is 4,000 or 5,000 miles. I've always said.
That is the best. First John McCain, now Lindsey Graham. Trump can make anybody look good.
Actually.
Fucking unbelievable.
Next week, we're going to be saying, poor Rick Santorum. Poor Rick Santorum.
New York City, I've always said, has the best pizza. And it's got the best something else.
Bagels?
I have it written down.
Bagels.
They have the best pizza, the best bagels. And now, because of Trump, they have the world's best racists. And they're the number one city.
Just amazing.
I just hope that at the next GOP debate, I hope the audience isn't so upset by Trump's McCain comments that they forget to boo military gay vets.
Yes. Or so distracted that they don't cheer judicious use of the death penalty. Yeah. Okay, so look, long story short, I suppose, were he to run as a third-party candidate, we know what the end result of that would be because of the way that American government and our elections are structured. The Republicans would lose.
Horribly, but here's my theory. My wife has said that she thinks that he's secretly in bed with the Clintons. And that this is all to help the Clintons. Well, he's obviously friends with the Clintons. They went to his third or fourth marriage, right? His third or fourth wedding. He went.
Yeah.
He went to them.
We don't remember, nor does he.
But he has a little bit of the wine, it's a little cracker, and he feels cleansed.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I tell God, I don't like to say I'm sorry to God. I say, hey God, how much will it take to make this right? I'm Donald Trump. Anyway. So I think it's...
That's an interesting conspiracy theory, though.
Hillary Clinton. Because she's having, she's not going to have an easy road because most people are sick of her.
Yeah.
Myself
That's
included.
True. And some of the recent polls have not been in her favor for the general election. But I think that if that's the case, it was probably set up months and months ago. And I think that she fucked up. If she was going to have him come in to try to torpedo some of her competitors, maybe do it at the end, but she miscalculated by assuming that a Republican would be her greatest competitor, and she was wrong. No, Donald Trump should be trying to sink Bernie Sanders, which he might actually been doing. He started talking about Bernie Sanders recently.
Donald Trump says he actually agrees with Bernie Sanders on trade.
On trade, yes.
I agree with that guy on trade.
But Bernie Sanders can't do anything about it, except if he was president, he would.
He couldn't negotiate with the Chinese like Donald Trump.
Yeah. And the reason he says for that, the reason he could negotiate with them, is that a Chinese company renewed their lease in one of his buildings in New York.
Because they love him.
Idiot. God damn.
They fear him and they love him, the Chinese.
Moron.
Trump's everything.
Okay, back in grad school, I dated a Chinese exchange student. So apparently I'm great for diplomacy with China. Make me the president. But look, it's not just that the RNC hasn't been really nice to Trump. There is actually a great schism going on between those who want someone like a Jeb Bush, someone who would play friendly, maybe Scott Walker, who'd play friendly with the establishment, wouldn't shake the boat too much, rock the boat, and those who are in favor of Trump there, which is something like 25% of the Republican electorate. But it's not just the RNC. There's PACs organizing against Trump, specifically the Let's Fire Trump PAC. That's pretty blatant. There's also this discussion going on that they're going to attempt to boycott the debates or get some of the Republican nominees to boycott the debate if Trump is involved. That's not going to work, clearly. But they don't want him in there.
This is hilarious. How are you? You're a bunch of Republicans, and you're like, hey, this guy that all the Republican voters like, we got to get rid of him.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
But I do like it to some extent that we've wondered for a long time, is there a limit to how crazy they'll allow? This is the limit, apparently.
Well, it's because,
you can only be so crazy.
I think it's because because he's exposing their underbelly of, hey, remember when Lindsey Graham used to call me and ask for money? Yeah. Remember Rick Perry used to ask? Mitt Romney called a press conference to announce that I was endorsing him. These guys all came and licked my boots. These guys, that's who these guys are. So if you don't like me, these guys used to kiss my ass.
Yeah.
And that's
true.
That's really, I think that's, people are overlooking that part. So all the other stuff that he's doing, right, so his race baiting, but all he is really is just a personification of right-wing policy, and they can't stand to look at themselves in the mirror, right? And he's also exposing the underbelly of politics, which is, look how these guys are all fucking dick suckers of people with money, and if you don't like me, they kiss, there's 10 million more like me that they're ass-kissing all over the country.
Yeah.
So I think that's he's really, actually, I really mean this, he's providing a valuable service to the electorate in this campaign.
In informing them.
Despite
in fact, how little information he has.
Yes. And he's not going to win, right?
He can't.
So it's healthy. It hurts the Republican Party, it hurts their brand, and it also exposes America, not just to Republican politics, but Democratic politics too, because Hillary Clinton kissed his ring. Just like everybody else. They went to his freaking wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, 100%. He is the perfect person, as you're saying, to represent the sort of money-hungry nature of Republican politicians. And by the way,